Urgent Atlanta Falcons fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Atlanta Falcons updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey there, Falcons fans! Today, we've got some breaking news and updates that are sure to catch your attention. The Atlanta Falcons are always in the headlines, especially as we get deeper into the NFL season, and there's a lot to unpack here. From roster updates to trade rumors, and the latest on key players, this is the kind of news that can shift the entire outlook of our beloved team. So, grab a snack, settle in, and let's dive into everything you need to know about the Falcons right now. Now, let's start with some context for those who might have missed the latest buzz. The Falcons have been navigating a season filled with ups and downs. After a promising start, they faced some challenges, but there's always that sense of hope among fans that this team can turn things around. And, let's be honest, with a roster full of talented players, a strategic coaching staff, and new additions, the potential is there. But, as always, the NFL is unpredictable, and the recent developments have fans talking more than ever. One of the biggest stories lately revolves around the Falcons' defense and some key updates on their roster. You see, Atlanta's defense has shown flashes of brilliance, but consistency has been an issue. That's why any news about potential trades, injuries, or changes in the lineup are scrutinized closely by fans and analysts alike. Recently, there's been a lot of chatter about whether the Falcons are planning to make a move in the trade market, especially at the cornerback position. And this brings us to one of the most talked about players right now, Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey, for those who might not be fully up to speed, is one of the NFL's most elite cornerbacks. He's known for his lockdown coverage, physical style of play, and leadership on the field. Ramsey has been a perennial Pro Bowler and brings a lot of swagger and experience to any secondary he's part of. The question on everyone's lips lately has been, is Atlanta in the mix to acquire Ramsey? Rumors have been swirling that the Falcons are showing interest, and some sources even suggest that negotiations are ongoing. But what's the truth behind these rumors? Well, as of now, nothing has been officially confirmed, but the signs point to Atlanta exploring all options to bolster their secondary. This makes a lot of sense when you consider the Falcons' defensive needs. The secondary has struggled at times this season, especially against explosive passing attacks. Adding a player of Ramsey's caliber could be a game-changer, someone who can lock down top receivers and elevate the entire defense. But acquiring Ramsey isn't just about the talent, it's about the cost. Trades for high-profile players like Ramsey usually involve significant draft picks or young players, and that's always a tough decision for any franchise. The Falcons have been strategic in their approach, balancing the desire to contend this year with the need to build for the future. Now, shifting gears a bit, there's also been some important news about Albert Breer, a well-known NFL insider, who has provided some updates on the trade situation and the Falcons' plans moving forward. Breer reported that Atlanta has been deeply involved in discussions, not just about Ramsey but also about other potential additions to the roster. The team's front office is clearly aware of their needs and is actively working to improve the squad for the stretch run. It's interesting to see how much the front office is prioritizing defensive upgrades, especially after some tough losses where the secondary was exploited. But it's not just about trades. The Falcons are also relying heavily on their current roster, particularly their young core. Players like A.J. Terrell have been impressive this season, showing that the secondary is capable of growth. Yet, consistency remains a concern. That's why bringing in a veteran like Ramsey, if it happens, could provide the leadership and stability needed to push the defense to the next level. Plus, with the playoffs in sight, every game becomes crucial, and the team knows that solidifying the back end could be the key to turning a good season into a great one. Let's talk about some of the other key players who are shaping the Falcons' story this year. Desmond Ridder, the young quarterback, continues to develop, showing flashes of brilliance but also moments of inexperience. The coaching staff has been supportive of him, emphasizing that he's a cornerstone for the future. Ritter's mobility, arm strength, and decision-making are all areas of focus. Fans are excited to see how he progresses as the season unfolds, especially with the added motivation of possibly upgrading the roster to support him. On the offensive side, the Falcons still rely heavily on the running game, with Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier doing a fantastic job of grinding out yards and keeping defenses honest. Robinson, in particular, has been a revelation. His vision, speed, and ability to break tackles have made him one of the standout rookies of the season. The offensive line has also been doing its part, creating lanes and giving Ritter enough time to make plays. Still, there's always room for improvement, especially in the passing game, where consistency has been a bit elusive. Now, back to the defense. Another aspect that's been under the spotlight is the pass rush. The Falcons have some talented players up front, like Grady Jarrett and the emerging young pass rushers, but they've struggled to produce consistent pressure on quarterbacks. That's another reason why adding a cornerback like Ramsey could complement the defense perfectly, creating a more formidable unit overall. When your secondary is locked down, it makes it easier for your pass rushers to get to the quarterback, and vice versa. It's all interconnected. Speaking of the season as a whole, the Falcons are currently sitting with a record that has kept fans hopeful but also aware of the challenges ahead. The NFC South continues to be a competitive division, with teams like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and New Orleans Saints fighting hard. Every game counts, and the Falcons know that securing a playoff spot will require not only talent but also grit and resilience. The coaching staff, led by Arthur Smith, has been emphasizing the importance of playing disciplined football, minimizing mistakes, and maximizing opportunities. The players have bought into this philosophy, and that's reflected in their effort on the field. Looking at the big picture, the Falcons front office has made it clear they're aiming to be competitive for years to come. The draft picks, the free agent signings, and the potential trades all point to a team that's trying to balance immediate success with long-term sustainability. And in the NFL, that's a delicate dance. Making a splash with a trade for a player like Ramsey could be just the move that propels Atlanta into playoff contention, energizing the fan base and creating a winning culture that can sustain success. But let's not forget, football is a game of inches, and sometimes the difference between a good season and a great one comes down to execution, health, and a bit of luck. The Falcons have shown resilience this year, fighting through adversity and keeping their eyes on the prize. Fans are eager to see what the final stretch will bring. Will they make a bold move and add that elite cornerback? Will Ritter continue to develop into a franchise quarterback? And most importantly, can this team finally break through and return to the playoffs after a few seasons of rebuilding? All these questions make the current moment so exciting. As we await official news on any trades or roster moves, one thing is clear: the Atlanta Falcons are at a pivotal point in their season. The energy among fans is palpable, and every game feels like a must-win. The front office is busy behind the scenes, and the coaching staff is pushing the players to give their best. This season could very well be one of those turning points, either setting the stage for a deep playoff run or highlighting areas where the team still needs to grow. Whatever happens, one thing is certain: Falcons fans are passionate, loyal, and ready for whatever this team throws at them. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all these rumors? Do you think the team should go all in for Jalen Ramsey? Is this the right move to push them into the next level? Or do you believe they should stay patient and focus on development? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Atlanta Falcons. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news. Thanks for watching, and as always, fly, Falcons!